2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8.
Johnny Lamb Jones. Wide receiver. As a season ticket holder of the Jets, I'm going to fool Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback. Hello. Roger Vick. Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all back.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner.
Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold.
The New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
Future Pro Bowler, Elijah Moore.
Michael Carter, running back.
Whoops, what happened? Wait a minute.
It looks like you're sharing your screen, bud.
Wait, no, you know what it is?
No.
Hold on a second, Dom C. Hold on here, everybody. What the hell's going on? Hey! It's funny, I didn't even see us on the left there. I was like, wait a minute, what could possibly be happening? So anyway, we got through our first round of technical difficulties, with the exceptional troubleshooter I am these days, Dom. See?
Whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, what the fuck is it? That's how it always starts at me. I'm like, wait a minute. And then my second thing is, whose fault is this? Yeah. That's my thing. I'm a blamer, baby. I love a good blame game. My wife will tell you. I told her, I love you. I know you're exceptional. I need somebody to blame. You know what I mean? It's not your fault. It's just part of the deal. You know what I mean?
Part of the arrangement. That's it.
Yeah.
You signed up for it. You signed
Sickness
up for
and health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get blamed for shit. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10 o'clock mock, the March 17th, 2025 installment of said mock. And I'm excited to be here. We have an interesting one for you. I think it's funny because I got, I see comments and I've been watching the previous streams and I got a couple messages like, dude, this sucks. Like, this is dumb. I wouldn't do this or whatever it is. And again, I want to remind everybody, this is one of the guys that is being talked about. Now, do I think it's necessarily real? I hope not, truth be told. I love the player, but there's some injury concerns and then the value and all this kind of stuff. But we're going to explore the Jets filling a major need at a premium position, Dom, before we even get to the draft. And we've seen a few trades. So the Jets are going to get into that tonight, and we're going to see exactly what it looks like for us, for our mock draft. So I put the poll in the chat for everybody. Go ahead and vote on the compensation. We'll give it a few minutes while I say hello to the one and only Dom C. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm just logging on so I can vote on the poll too. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Me and Ryan just zipped through a mock, and we did it on mock draft database.
I saw that. I saw when you switched.
Yeah. We've been having
Dom, when Cam Ward and Shador Sanders are sitting there at 7, you got to rethink some things. You're like, all right, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. So,
yeah.
Hey, how'd you guys do?
I liked the mock. Ryan didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
It's probably because there's a lot of names in there that, like guys like Ryan and myself, admittedly, we are not as, as learned as you. You are quite the exceptional study when it comes to prospects and the draft. And while I do dig in and I fancy myself, relatively knowledgeable, I don't ever even pretend to be on your level.
Yeah, well, you know
you
what?
know.
It was. I appreciate the compliments. But you listen. You take what the simulator gives you, right?
Right.
And it was a little bit skewed defensive, which was surprising. I mean, we took some positions that we haven't touched on yet in all of our time doing these mocks this year. We took a running back.
Really? What round?
Mid round, 5th round, first pick of the 5th round.
Okay.
And the value is worth it. And we said, hey, we have no idea what's going to happen with Breece Hall, right? We have no idea what's going to happen.
We have no idea of anything, Dom. We don't know shit. That's what it really boils down to. You know, look, I was just going to announce when you finished chatting.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to announce to everybody that we have our a good guest tonight. You know, we have somebody that obviously you guys know I love and respect and enjoy their presence. I was going to say this, Dom. Right around 10:30, 10:45, the one and only Matt O'Leary is going to jump in with us. I was going to say that, Dom, but it turns out I don't need to because he's here.
I finished the first pod up early, and I said I get to surprise the boys and come hang out. Hopefully, I don't miss any picks. It doesn't look like I did, so I'll be here for the full thing.
Oh man, you didn't miss nothing. We're still talking about our wives and shit like that. That's how this always starts. We don't know what's happening, you know. So you are what, as they say, right on time. O'Leary, how you doing, bro? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I think I ate my body weight in corned beef today.
Yeah,
I made it for the first time. I made my own. So I had that thing in the slow cooker for like, I don't know, 9.5 hours, but I thought it came out pretty good for a first attempt. So I was very happy with it.
This is your first time doing it alone, like without, like mom or an aunt or going somewhere or something like that. Like this is Matt O'Leary's first corned beef.
Correct. On my own. I've done like my family's done it. We like to, there's a few places that we like to go to that do it really well. But this was my own first crack at it. So I went to Trader Joe's yesterday, picked up the actual corned beef, and said, all right, how am I going to do this? Looked up a few different recipes, and I think I nailed it. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Fantastic. You know what, Matt? And I'm going to shoot real straight. It would seem like I invited you to come on the show tonight because it's St. Patty's Day, but that is not accurate. It was complete happenstance. I was just like, hey, let me reach out to Matt. I've been thinking about it for a couple weeks, and I said, you know what? Like, stop thinking about it, Like Dom knows. It's like, we sometimes like you got to act yourself into thinking.
Right thinking. That's right.
Right.
You act
right,
yourself
Dom?
into right thoughts. That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So there we are. So Jake Asman checks in early and says, death, taxes, and Dom C, green bean for life. Yes, I love it. And then he follows that with this. O'Leary is the hero we need on St. Patty's Day.
St. O'Leary's Day.
Oh,
St. O'Leary's. And look, Jake, he made his first corned beef solo style. So that's a big day. It's a big day, man. So Trader Joe's, Matt, it has like the seasoning packet for the brine and all the shit.
The whole thing. I didn't want to go like full make your own like seasoning and stuff for it. I was like, just try to make this as easy as possible.
Yeah.
So I did all the, you basically throw it in and just let it cook up. It's not like I'm sitting there like massaging in all the seasonings and making sure that everything's all set up to go.
Not out there on a hunt of the finest cow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good old Mr. Joe did that for me. So
skinned it with his bare teeth.
That's right. Clean the heart for respect for the animal, and he thanked the trees, and you know what I mean? Did all that shit.
I got to be honest with you. I am not a fan of corned beef.
Really? Even sliced?
Yeah, I mean, like on a sandwich, like a corned beef Reuben or something like that. Yeah, I can have it, but it's not like something that I'm ever yearning for. So,
you know why that is, Dom? I'm going to tell you this.
I'm Italian.
Yeah, it's because there's no pasta in it.
That's right. Yeah.
Totally fair. And like, I'm not going to the corned beef often. Like this is a once a year thing. It's like turkey on Thanksgiving, Like, it's more for tradition than it is like, oh my God, I gotta have the corned beef. But
I'll tell you, even though I didn't have one, my wife, I don't know if you guys know this, my wife got bit by a tick recently, And
Okay.
she got this illness, not Lyme disease, but she got this illness called alpha-gal, which makes it so she cannot eat mammals.
What?
And as we know, corned beef is a mammal. So, like, we made a corned beef every year for a long time, and this, we're not doing it. So it's just a kind of a weird thing. But like Matt, like you just said, I do like corned beef. Like if I go to a deli in New York or something like that, it's one of two things. It's corned beef or pastrami, but I would say corned beef probably 75% of the time. Just corned beef and mustard on rye. That's all I want. But
I'll go turkey. I'll go sliced turkey.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just telling you what I like. But the thing, like Matt said, it really, other than that, which I don't have New York delis here. So it's like really a once a year thing. And when that comes around, I get really psyched for it. I really do. So I'm proud of Matt for making his own. And he minimized the import. Look, you can screw that up, Matt. You really can. And you didn't. So congrats on your corned beef.
I know I definitely didn't screw up pouring the Jameson over ice too. Like that was already taken care of. I didn't have to brew my own. That was another win for me.
But you poured it and you put the ice in there. It's all about the glass too, Matt. I'm sure you know what I mean?
Jameson.
2 fingers?
Yeah, 2 fingers like this though, not like 2 fingers.
Yeah, right. 2 fingers. Oh, I like that.
You like
2 fingers 6 times.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So 12 fingers of Jameson. Good stuff. So happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. We put the poll in the chat, and I'll tell you guys what it is. We have like almost 100 more people than when I said it. So tonight's theme is the Jets are trading for Chris Olave. Right? We're completing the Ohio State. Not completing, but we're adding to the Ohio State thing. The New York Jedis, as we're affectionately labeling this, the new movement. So what we're doing in the chat is we're allowing you guys to determine what the value is, what the compensation of said trade is. The options are a first. Now, I think without injuries, I think that would be that's realistic. The second round pick, we also have third round pick. And then we have a little interesting one, which is swap firsts, which is 7 for 9. So right now it's close between the bottom two. So we'll give it a couple of more minutes and I'll tell you guys all the rules. If you've never been here before, welcome to the 10 o'clock mock. We have fun in here.
What do you want me to use? I'm sorry. I'll get it.
Dom, I'll give it to you as long as you can pull this trade off. I'm kind of impartial. Okay. We did what did we do last? I think we did PFN last week. PFF,
yeah, I'll do PFF because that's the easiest one to make the trade happen.
Okay. So we're going to use the PFF simulator, and here's the rules of the 10 o'clock mock. Number 1, it's vitally important that we remember what we're doing here. This is not us saying this is what we want to do or anything like that. We're using scenarios each week to explore what it makes the draft look like after we do what we do with our theme. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, the way that we're going to do this is that we'll talk about the pick starting with 7, 42, and so forth. And we'll talk about some prospects, what we need. We're going to drop a bunch of options into a chat poll. You guys will have 3 minutes to vote on your favorite choice. Once the 3 minutes is up, we end the poll. Whoever wins is our pick for the evening. Now, when we have certain scenarios that pop up, we might say the top 2 in this poll will be the next 2 picks, depending on trades and things like that. That may happen. We do not entertain any trades. I don't know how PFF's not really going to be as aggressive as PFN, but we don't really entertain trades after the second, maybe the third round. It makes the night last until 2 a.m. if we do that. Yeah. And lots of us have to go to work in the morning. So anyway, once we get to like the 5th round, we start making 2-minute polls. There'll be 3 minutes up to that point, but 2 minutes after that. And guys, the key is to get your vote in. That's the key to the entire process. We want your voice to be heard. I can't even make a pick. Dom and Matt can vote on it, but I can't. So it's really your draft. We want to see what it looks like from a consensus point of view with the theme that we put into place. So did I miss anything? Matt, do you have any questions?
No, I am amped up. I'm ready to go and curious to see what this poll ends up being because it's pretty close between the third or the swap in the first round.
No.
Yeah. Now, Matt, what would you choose if that was your choice for the theme tonight? Would you pick the third or would you pick the 7 and 7 for 9? Where would you land?
I did vote in the poll. I voted for the third round, but I'm open to either or. I would be worried slightly about if you move down the 2 spots, if the guy that I want to target would still be there. I think there's a chance that he would, but I almost know for a fact that he's going to be there at 7. So that makes it a little bit easier for me. I thought the third was maybe more realistic too. So I voted for that one, but I'd be open to just moving down the 2 spots and taking Olave as well.
Yeah. And coming away with a Chris Olave, not too bad.
Matt, let me educate you here on something. I know you're new to the 10 o'clock mock. The fucking chat always trades down on everything. Okay. So be prepared.
Okay.
You can want to sit and stay at 7. They're going to say, screw you. I want 14 picks this one.
That's right.
We're going to be up till 3 a.m.
That's very true. That's very true. So while we're going to give this about another minute to 2 minutes, and then we're going to start the draft.
Hit a bio break real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. In the meantime, I'm going to remind you guys about one of our favorite sponsors. This is true. You guys know this to be true. We've talked about them many times. The one and only Chubbies. As you can see, I am wearing my Chubbies stretch flannel, everybody. Now, look, what they want me to talk about, Matt, what they want me to talk about is spring is here. And it's time to talk about swim trunks and everything. But I'm going to be honest with you. It's freezing where I am. It's raining, it's freezing. And I just wore this like 4 days ago again. So I love it. I'm excited about this shirt. Guys, the thing about Chubbies is this. It is, whether you're talking about the swim trunks, the shorts, the slacks, the Friday shirts, or this amazing flannel that we have here. The greatest thing about Chubbies is that there's a stretch aspect to it that makes it quite literally, if not it's going to be among the most comfortable pieces of clothing that you own. They're fantastic. And what we're going to do here is the link is in the top of the description. We're going to give you guys 20% off your entire order. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show some shorts while we're talking about this. Look at that. I got to get it back to this thing. Here we go. There we go. This is the right way.
Oh,
yeah. So we're going to give you 20% off your entire order. All you have to do is use the promo code GreenJetsFan. Not GreenBean, but Green Jetsfan, everybody. 20% off your entire order. Now, you can see. Now, I'm going to talk about this. This is what I was excited to talk about. You see this? The caconators right here? This is an amazing. By the way, I have these. Now, it's funny. When we did this on Talking Jets, we're different people, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, let me show you what it looks like. So Ryan went with the 2-inch. You see these little because Ryan's a little bit on the sexy side, right? Is that even fair enough? So Ryan wants to show more thigh, and all that. And Matt's somewhere in the middle. He says, "Look, of course I'm sexy, but I'm not going to pull off this Ryan thing.
I'm not a slut like Ryan.
I'm not a slut." So you went with the 5.5, right?
That's correct. I love the 5.5s.
That looks amazing. Now, me, I'm a little older. I'm a cargo pants guy and all that. So I went with the 7-inch. And you can see so they come down to just about the knee. And that's the amazing thing is that it's not a one size fits all. It's whatever you feel. If you feel like your rump is sexy and your thighs, you've been working on them all winter and they're all toned and all, you can go with the 2-inch. Look at these things. That's totally Ryan, isn't it? It's amazing. I can't do it, man. If I wore that, they'd be like, you gotta leave.
Not to take over your ad read because you're doing such a great job, but I genuinely wanted to say, so we've worked with them with Talking Jets, but for years I have gotten the bathing suits from Chubbies for years before even working with them because I love the comfies and the stretch material. They're so nice.
Yeah. No, it's true. I was blown away. When they sent us the first pair, what they sent us was the Friday shirt, which I'll show you. Where we got the pants to top. So here's the Friday shirts. And as again, like, look, spring is coming any day now. It is the end of March. These Friday shirts are the goods. So I think, where's the one I have? I have one of these prints. They're amazing. It's like, it might be this one right here. So these things right here. Guys, and everything like the slacks, this looks like just a normal dress shirt, but it's not. It's amazingly comfortable, all because of the stretch fabric. Guys, this is the truth. All of us, we've talked about it off air. We love Chubbies. So if you're going to take advantage of any offer, this might be the one that you want to consider. 20% off your entire order, everybody. All you got to do is use the promo code GreenJetsFan, and you'll watch 20% disappear from your entire bill there. And I thank Chubbies for hanging out with us on the 10 o'clock mock tonight. So there you go. There it is, Dom. Dom doesn't have any stretchy.
I am chubby, but I don't own chubby.
Chubbies are good for Chubbies. Yeah. So, all right, let's end this poll. Here we go. I'm just ending it. It looks like we're pretty nailed down here. It was close, but it stayed exactly the same. So we have a third round pick, Dom. 42%. The swap first came in at 38%. The second was at 14%, and 5% of the folks in the chat thought Chris Olave should garner a first-round pick. I'm glad that that's not what happened. I don't want to give up my first-round pick for an often injured, guy. Look, his talent's not in question, right? If he's healthy, and him and Garrett Wilson, Malachi Corley, whoever, it's going to be, he would be an asset for sure. But you can't. You got to factor in the concussions and all that. So hopefully you put him at like wide receiver 3 and he just kind of plays that impact role with limited duty. But so, Dom, if you wouldn't mind, you can share your screen.
Yes, sir.
With the mock. I'll get to David Bruce, our buddy over there across the pond. Good morning, guys. Well, good morning to you, David. May I recommend a framed egg? I don't know if that's what you call it over there. You probably have some nifty name. They're much better with names in the United Kingdom, Scotland to be specific. But may I recommend a framed egg this morning and some blood sausage? What do you think of that, Dom? You like blood sausage?
Negative. That's a hard pass for me.
I think Matt might like blood sausage.
I don't think I've ever had blood sausage, to be completely honest with you.
You know where I've had it, Matt? In Harry Potter World in Universal.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. That's where I had it.
Nice.
They call it black sausage because they know everybody's going to freak out, but it's the exact same thing. So, Matthew, well, hey, good, David, love that you check in, man. It's such a delight having you here, my friend. Matthew Malavet checking in. Nice to have Matt here. Indeed, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is.
I've been a viewer of it. I love late night hanging out, watching Dom C and GreenBean draft, and was excited when asked to join. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy you're here, man. I'm tickled that you were able to check in so early, so we can get like the proper hang in. Not like here we are in the 5th round,
right?
You know what I mean? Which would have been fine, but I prefer this. All right, so Dom C. Look at everybody's good. Matt, look, everybody's loving Matt. Blood sausage rules. Look at that. Everybody loves Matt O'Leary. Yeah.
So we're here, guys. We got Chris Olave for 73. The simulator says, fuck you. This thing ain't going through, but there's the
we're going to tell the simulator. Look, we're going to tell the simulator. Look, first of all, PFF grades are horseshit. So you're just going to do what we say. Okay.
That's right.
I love it.
We're going to force that trade, and the trade's accepted. And should I start the draft?
Yeah. Let's start this thing, huh, everybody? All right.
All right, so this is a little big
Ooh.
here. This is the problem that me and Ryan dealt with.
What happened?
You there?
Yeah. What happened?
That you go off the board and none of the quarterbacks are taken.
Well, Matt, do you think that's a realistic scenario? Like, I mean, it is possible that like everybody looks at these guys and says, not the guy I want to tag my career to. Think that's real?
No, I personally don't. I definitely think maybe not to Tennessee, but either the Titans or someone will trade up for Cam Ward. I think there's a chance Shador slides out of the top 7. That I do believe, but Ted McMillan, Tyler Warren, and Mason Graham coming off the board in sequential order 4, 5, and 6 right before the Jets is a major slap in the face for me, because those are 3 of the guys I was talking about as a reason why I didn't want to trade out from 7. And like a fool, I opened my mouth and said, I'm confident they'll be there at 7, but not so confident at 9. And then I jinxed it.
Well, the good thing is, Matt, the good thing is, O'Leary, we got 5 trade offers here.
Oh,
we got the Falcons want to move up. They want us to go back to 15, Cincinnati to 17, Tampa to 19, Baltimore to 27, or even Kansas City back all the way. So there are some options here.
Well, who could the Falcons want to come up for? They got Penix.
Well, what you got to remember is this is going to be based on Trevor Sycamor's ratings. So, who up here are they interested? I'd probably say Jihad Campbell or Starks or 2 of the guys or maybe Jahdae Barron. I bet you if we made a trade with Atlanta, Jahdae Barron's off the board.
All right, so let's do a poll and see. We don't know what we got to give up, but let's just
but that's what's good about this simulator is that we can create it.
We can create it. Okay, so we want to do a trade or stick and pick. So I'll leave that in there. Don't forget, both quarterbacks are there. Look, I'm a believer. I'm not the biggest Cam Ward guy or Shador. I mean, I like both of them, to be clear, but not enough to like trade up and do all that kind of stuff. I will say, even with signing Justin Fields, if Cam Ward is there, number one, I'm going to be listening to my phone for my phone ringing. But I got to tell you, he's not off the list of guys. Dude, he slid to 7. I might take that swing. I'll be honest with you. Matt, would you do the same thing? Where would you stand if Cam Ward is sitting there at 7?
No, it's a lot different. Like when we were talking about, I feel it was a few weeks ago, discussing the idea of trading up to number 1 to get Cam Ward. That made me nervous.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Right. The assets you would have to give up to get there. But it's a very different conversation if you're just sticking and picking and taking him 7th overall. I do see the upside with Cam Ward. I think he's an exciting prospect. So he would definitely be someone I'd be considering in this scenario for the Jets.
So, Dom, you got to show the trades again. I got Atlanta back to 15. What was your? Let's get one more. We're just going to do 2. Was it the Ravens at 27? Or do you
Ravens at 27, Tampa at 19, Cincinnati at 17. Those and Kansas City at 31. Those are all the offers on there.
Let's do Cincy at 17. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put a no trade in there. Okay. Guys, the poll is up. I'm starting the timer. Our first poll of the evening has begun. So let's start this timer. I'll give you 3 fresh minutes starting right now. Get your votes in, everybody. Let us know what you want to do. We can stay right here. It doesn't mean we have to take a quarterback, but we can. We'll add them to the next poll when we're picking players. But you can take the Atlanta trade, which is moving back to 15, which we don't know. We can set the terms on that. We'll just look at the draft value board and do it honestly. Yep. And then Cincy, what was it? What did I say? 19? 17. There you go. That's a nice trade back, what is it? 10 picks or 8 picks. I like it. All right. Let's see who we got. E-Boogie checking in. Our good buddy says, trade back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, E-Boogie. E-Boogie has no problem saying what he wants. He wants to trade back. He wants to add big fatties. He likes the same kind of guys. He wants to add snarling linebackers. I love me some E-Boogie. Says trade back with KC. Oh, sorry, I didn't see this and put it up there for you, my friend. But we got 2 others on the block here. We only got 61 votes out of 240.
Yeah, because the chat's a little pissed off that we're considering a quarterback here.
Because we're considering one. We don't have to vote for him.
Right. There's going to be 2 or 3 other options now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 4 total. Sometimes we do 3 bangers.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, we're just gonna put them up. You know why? Because they're upset that they know everybody else is gonna vote for a damn quarterback.
They're upset because they're saying this fake mock draft isn't realistic.
That's right.
Saying, this make-believe situation's not realistic.
That's right. It's a funny thing. So what were I know, well, we're going to create the value, Wild Wave. We'll do it honestly. We're just going to say, all right, that value is, let me get that page up.
Hey, Rusty Spooner, I'm going to put this up. He makes a really, really fair point here. We fucked ourselves.
Wow.
Because we got 2 trades that are killing for one another. So the no trade is obviously going to win.
How did I fuck him? What if I added another trade? It would have what?
No, you're kind of like splitting the votes between the 2 trades, so they're always going to be lower than the no trade.
No. Remember last week, 2 of them were no trade. You know what I mean? Like I always add a no trade, always.
No, but I'm saying in this case, the 2 trades here are pulling from one another. You know what I mean? It should have been what he's saying. It should have been trade or no trade.
No, we can't do it. I hear. Yeah, okay. Truth is, I used to do that. And I was here till 4 a.m. You know what I mean? It's like, I hear you. But no, man, we got to just pull up our Chubbies slacks. All right. So the poll, let me end this poll. Oh, shit. I got to plug my computer in, everybody. Sorry. It's like, hey, you're going to die. Let's see. End the poll. No trade won. What do you got? Is that what you were saying was going to happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what we're saying.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's 3 fucking options.
But two of them have trades, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, if they don't like one, if they, you know what I mean? Like they could only like one. I don't want to move back as far as 17 or what. I don't know. Get out of here. You guys.
It was closer than I thought, right?
Yeah.
42 to 41.
See? So you're saying if I didn't put Cincy in there, then the trades would have won. All right. Well, we're no trading, so we're sticking and picking, everybody. Don't worry about it. We started this draft with a big trade of our 3rd round pick for Olave, everybody. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people, Dom, they're trading out. They're like, you know what? Look, let's just make some picks, everybody. That's what they're saying.
So we got
what Hamza says. Come on, it's a mock. Right.
Yeah, it's a mock. It's make believe, guys. I mean, it's not all that serious.
Yeah. Here. And if I'm being real fair, it's unlikely that either of these guys are here right now anyway in real life. So here we go. Into fantasy land we ride. All right, Dom. Who do we got?
Well, I mean, do we even have to talk? I mean, are we going to consider one of the quarterbacks?
Yeah, let's only Cam.
Yeah, so it's Cam versus the board, and I guarantee you Cam wins. So you can put Cam.
Well, listen to me. I don't like it. What are we doing tonight? We're being very dismissive of the process. Like, look, I mean, who else we got? Is Tet McMillan? He's not there. You got Jihad Campbell. You got Mike Green.
You got Membu.
Membu, right.
So I would probably, if you're asking me, I mean, Membu's an option here. I think if you go with the quarterback is an option, and then you want to throw a third one.
All right. How about this?
Shoot.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a yes-no poll for 1 minute. All right, 1 minute poll. This is for Rusty Spooner. Should we add a QB to the poll at 7? Yes, no. 1 minute, everybody. Get your damn votes in there. Let's go. Everybody's really fickle tonight. Everybody's touchy.
No one's fickle.
Close.
No one's fickle. It's just like we deal with what the simulator gives us. And because Sycamore updated his rankings. Cam Ward is low, so Cam Ward is not going to go number 1, number 2, number 3 in these drafts anymore. So PFF is going to be off their rocker for a simulator for a little while.
All right, the poll is up. Right now, 51% says no. Get your votes in. I got 79 votes on here. Somehow 78 now.
Someone unvoted.
Yeah, I don't know even how to do that. How do you do that once you submit?
I don't know.
Yeah. 80 votes. Come on, guys. 84 votes. You only got 11 seconds. Get your votes in. This is important stuff.
Oh, this is close, right at the wire. 50.
Oh, look at this.
It's 50-50.
50-50 goes to the runner, which is adding them. I'm ending the poll. How do I? Okay, here you go. 50-50. The quarterback's in.
Great.
200 of you didn't vote. So what do you want from me? It's like I say to my wife all the time. What do I look like? He's like, I still can't get over that one. What do you mean? What do you look like? I'm like, what do I look like? It applies to everything. What do I look like? A fucking car salesman? What do I look like? A baker? What do I look like? A chef? You know? All right. So pick 7. We're going to add Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's a quarterback, everybody. And then we're going to add Membu. He's an offensive tackle, everybody. A right tackle at that.
Yes,
well,
sir.
All right, who else we got? We got Jihad Campbell. Do we want to add him? Does everybody like him, or what are we doing?
I love Campbell. However, I mean he's right up there. He's a top 7 player on my board. However, realistically, I mean, they just paid Sherwood. Are you gonna spend another top 10 pick on an off-ball linebacker? Probably not.
Probably not. But I'll tell you, you'd have a badass situation going on.
Oh man, that would be phenomenal.
You'd be lumping dudes up, O'Leary.
Then maybe we're thinking of flipping Quincy Williams to get that 3rd round pick back.
Maybe we are.
I like that,
especially with all this nickel we're going to be playing. So Matt, what do you think? Should we add Ibuka to this? I know it's a little bit of a reach, but or Golden for that matter, whatever wide receiver. I'd love to get one on. Is Ty Warren gone?
Yeah,
he is.
Definitely. Tyler Warren's gone. So yeah, I think Ibuka is probably the next best receiver, in my opinion.
And continuing the Ohio State madness, Egbuka, wide receiver from Ohio State. Give me one more. I didn't add Campbell. You want to add Genty? This is a weird one. Let's go. Let's have some fun. Josh Simmons. I saw him mock to the Jets.
Yeah. Listen, you can, let's have some fun. Why don't you go ahead and take Mike Green on there?
Mike Green, the edge. I love it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Edge. All right, guys. The poll is up. Now, look, suspend your previously held strong stances. Let's watch where this one goes. This is interesting. Very different than what we're used to. Now, don't forget, we did trade for Olave. We have no 3rd round pick. So we are definitely a little bit better than we were in the wide receiver room. So maybe that has impact. Maybe you want to continue. We don't know what the hell Corley is. And then again, look, having a stable of Garrett Wilson, Ibuka, and Olave with Corley, kind of, as the 4, not bad, everybody. Not bad. So the poll is up. Got 63 votes. Got a whole bunch of you that haven't voted yet. Don't forget to hit the like button, by the way. Squeeze those milk tongue. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel while you're here, if you haven't just yet. Look at this. We got 2 minutes left. Matt, if you had to predict, not which way you want it to go, but if you had to predict, it's close. Who do you think is going to pull this away?
My thought was that Cam Ward would be the runaway favorite because he would be unexpected to be there at number 7. Mm-hmm. So that was my thought going into this poll, would be that the quarterback would be the number 1 choice because everyone would be so surprised that he's actually there for the Jets.
Right. And I'll tell you, see, this is the thing with trying to be predictive ahead of time. Like, we can't put Cam Ward because he's not winning right now. I mean, he might, but we don't know. Guys, get your votes in. Wild Wave telling everybody, chat, you have to engage. I wish the Twitter folks could engage. We got 182 on the X platform. that just can't vote at all. Isn't that a shame? I wish that would be a whole different thing. Adding the two polls and then piecing them together.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That would be wonderful, right?
Ryan would love that. He's like, he would love it. The more math and computer shit that we got to do, Ryan gets more and more excited. Every platform you add to the mix.
Next StreamYard update, they got to add polls to make it across all platforms.
There you go. Right, Matt. I'm going to write to them and see what they say. They've ignored me thus far.
I've emailed StreamYard a couple times this week. I'll tell you why. I'm very frustrated. So StreamYard's only working for me on Firefox. It won't work on Google Chrome. Will not recognize my camera. I've done all different kinds of updates and resets on Chrome and on my computer and Windows updates. And no matter what I do, it just won't work. And I haven't gotten a straight answer as to why. So I'm going like it's 2009 and using Firefox tonight.
Firefox. I tell you what, I did it right around that time, like 2009 till about 2014, 15. I was all Firefox.
Yeah, the process went Internet Explorer, then Firefox, then Google Chrome. I think that's the only right progression in the web browser format.
Yeah, internet. Now we got Edge. I have somebody today. They're like, "Well, go to Edge." I'm like, "Edge?
No, trash."
Like, I don't know if I can do that.
Won't do it.
Well, guys, listen to this.
I'm
the
listening.
right tackle takes the prize, 46%. Cam Ward gets 40%. Abuka 10 and Mike Green 2. We had 106 votes. So our first pick is the completion of our offensive line. Maybe not the way I would go, but I applaud it. It's conviction, it's prioritization. So I'm down. Matt, any thoughts on if the Jets came away with Membu in the first?
I would be happy about it. I stated before we got started, my three top choices for the Jets would be, in no particular order, Mason Graham, Ted McMillan, and Tyler Warren. But if they decided to forego one of those three guys and take Membu, it's really hard to get mad at that when you're completing your offensive line and you're going to have a starting offensive line all, 28 years old and younger, and that can play together for a few years. That'd be exciting. So while it's not my preference, I understand it, and I would be happy with it.
Yeah, I love how you said that. I feel the same way. Dom, real quick before I get to a couple super chats, Wrong Verb says, Dom C, would you prefer Bowers and Membu or Olu and Warren?
My highest graded prospect out of the four was Bowers. So although my fourth rated prospect out of those four is Membu, I'd probably still lean based on prospects alone, not fit for the Jets, I would go Bowers and Membu.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. Bearded checking in says 3 other teams passed on Ward. What's that say? Yeah, it says something. If this is real.
Yeah, well, look, he went right here to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh sits pretty and gets to play him right behind Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
If he signs.
Yeah, not bad. He's holding out for the Vikings. And then, I mean, history, right? History, it's just the craziest thing. I don't know what the hell. The Jets are just an intermediary between the Packers and Vikings. So great. JJ Hamza checking in. I just want Alar next year. And I got to tell you, I don't like him.
Okay.
I don't like him, Hamza.
Just flat out.
Yeah, I don't like him. I'll watch this year and see what he does, but I don't get the love affair. I just don't. I see moments, but I don't get it.
Yeah, well, you got to remember this also, and keep it in perspective. At this time last year, it was Shedeur Sanders, Carson Beck, and Quinn Ewers were guaranteed top 5 picks, right?
True.
So we don't know what's going to happen. Alar could take a step. Alar could shit the bed, and we're talking about him in the 5th round next year. You never know.
Totally. I think that's what's going to happen. Pick 42. Remember, guys, we have no third, so this one is a very important pick.
We also got no trades offered. So
no trades offered. Wow. Okay, so who do we got, everybody? Let's take a look at our crop.
So you got a couple cornerbacks here that make sense, and Trey Amos and Siobhan Revel.
Who's
So,
better for what we're doing, Dom?
Man, they're both pretty good fits. I'd probably say if I had the gun to my head, man-to-man press coverage corner, I'd say Trey Amos is the better press corner. I think he's a lot more. I think he's a lot more physical. But Savon Revel has that. I mean, he's got the build, man. 6'3", 205 pounds, long arms. He is a clone to Sauce Gardner. You have those guys on the outside. Now, I think he plays a little bit better off man than in press man. But you can't go wrong. If you wanted to look at the cornerback, that's where you go. You got Shedeur Sanders.
Yes, I was going to say Shedeur Sanders is still there, so we could still argue about quarterback. We should throw him up.
Yeah, throw him up there. You have Tyler Booker, who probably is going to go in the first round. Now, this is an interesting one because he's a super, super talented. Oh, we took Membo though. So probably
let's take a look at some tight ends.
Sure.
See who's there.
Arroyo, Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson. Looks like we just missed Colston Loveland, who went to the Titans at 35.
Wow, right there.
Harold Fannin, Gunnar Helm. Listen, realistically, if you land one of these 5 guys, you can question Harold Fannin because I don't know how much of a fit he is going to be next to Stone Smart. They're very similar players. But
you got to love it, Dom, when Stone Smart starts impacting your draft strategy. You got to love it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that skill set wise, they're very similar. I mean, they're really big slot receivers, is what I'm saying.
All right, Matt, who would you tight end? Who's your guy here?
Of this, but I don't understand the Gunnar Helm fall off.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because he didn't test well running wise, but then Ian Rappaport tweeted out like his ankle was swollen in black and blue because he rolled it on his first attempt.
Probably because he's a pansy. No,
it could be.
Could be. All right, maybe not. That's not confirmed.
I will say this: Gunnar Helm is hands down the best blocker of these 5 that are here. Maybe outside of like the Jackson Hawes of the class, maybe the best blocker out of all of them.
Does he have hands? That's the key, and he does. So that's what's good.
Yeah, he's like a Mark Andrews. I think he can hold his own in both aspects of the game. Might be a little bit of a slower roll uphill before he reaches his true potential. Ferguson's great. I think Ferguson's really good all around.
Yeah,
I think he's probably the bigger red zone threat. Him and Arroyo. But they all have questions with him. Mason Taylor's phenomenal.
Yeah, I love Mason.
I don't know if Mason Taylor.
I
don't know if Mason Taylor is going to be a real force in the run game as an inline blocker. Same questions can be said about Arroyo. So they're all good, but they all got their warts as well.
So Matt, if you had to pick one out of this, you're going to get to name the guy in the poll. Who do we got out of this group? You want Gunnar Helm? You want Ferguson, Taylor? Who you got?
I think I would go with Helm. I think he fits what the Jets need the most. I think what Dom C was saying on Fannin, I kind of feel that way about Arroyo too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's the type of tight end the Jets are going to be looking for in this offense. So my preference would be Helm. I know it's early for him based off this simulator.
That's okay. Yeah, but we don't look at the sim. We as far as their ratings anyway. Mm-hmm. All right, Gunnar Helm's in there. Now I think defensive tackle, we can cool off a little bit on, at least up front, with the defensive tackles. What about like safeties? What about that? Alfred Collins is still there. Jesus.
Alfred Collins is still there. Listen, Kevin Winston's my guy. And I think that schematically he would fit so well next to Andre Sisco. He's your box guy. He's your run fitter. He's, versatile enough that he can play, in the high post. He can even play, he's big enough. I think he could play some sub linebacker in certain situations. So, Lathan Ransom also, I know this might be a little early, but Lathan Ransom is also a dog when it comes to like, you want a guy that's you're going to feel the hit that he lays, fit in the rut. That's going to be Lathan Ransom. Yeah.
I like Makuba too. All right. I'm going to throw Kevin Winston up there. So we got our group. We got Shedeur Sanders in there for you quarterback loving fools. I'm going to start the timer. 3 minutes you get, everybody. Let's go, Rusty Spooner. Let's go, Cadoza. Get your votes in. I see Tom R. Tom R., unfortunately, there were no trade offers. So, I mean, we could spend some time digging into and trying to initiate a trade, but we're more responsive in the 10 o'clock mock, reactive, if you will. So we got our top 4 up there. Oh, Sanders taking an early lead.
Oh, it's going to be tight.
Look at this. The defensive backs are coming around the bend. All right, man. Exciting stuff. Let me get to a few super chats while we're waiting. Let's see. Where was it? Hamza E-Boogie says, oh, Revel. I keep missing E-Boogie's. He comes in late. I'm sorry, E-Boogie. That's 2 in a row. I just completely ignored you. Not intentional, I promise. Yeah. But, yeah. Sorry about that.
If it means anything, not trying to skew the vote of the chat, but the Jets did meet formally with Trey Amos out of this bunch. I'm sure they met with Sanders too, but it wasn't a formal meeting where he met the entire front office and everyone who was at the Senior Bowl. So yeah.
Interesting. Sam Aiken checking in. What's up, Sam? Siobhan Revel reminds me so much of Antonio Cromartie. Why not pick a DT in the second? Well, I mean, my thought is, and you're, by any means, of course you can, disagree with me, but I think the Jets just did some work in free agency on the defensive line. And we still have LT3, obviously Quinnen. I think that they did that so to provide that kind of that breathing room at the position. Not to say that they can't go defensive tackle this early, but especially in our situation when we don't have a third, our next pick is 109, I believe it is. So we have a long way to go. I don't know if defensive tackle, especially with the needs that, with the work that we just did at the defensive tackle position, I don't know if that's going to pull as strongly as maybe a tight end or a cornerback or, cornerback is even a little bit iffy for me, quite frankly. But tight end, strong safety. We need a safety. I'd love to get a safety up top and actually have good safeties, a good roamer and a good thumper. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Nothing gets me more excited.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's it for the super chats for now.
This is a really tight race.
It really is. Look at this. It's about as tight as we've seen.
Wow.
Get your votes in, everybody. You got 16 seconds left, and I'd be pissed if Trey Amos wins this. So come on. I don't usually do that. Let's go, guys. Oh, he went up. Since I said that, he went up a percentage point.
Uh-oh.
Like, good.
Yeah, listen, realistically, Trey Amos might be the best player on this out of these 4.
All right, let's see what we do here. We're going to end that poll right now. It looks like he did come away with it. Yep, so Trey Amos, cornerback in the second round. This is an interesting draft, O'Leary. This is not the norm.
No, but maybe in this scenario, Brandon Stevens is going to play safety, right? Because wasn't there some rumblings about that?
They were rumored to do that. Remember, they actually made, the Jets actually put out an official correction because they listed him as safety, which got me excited.
Yeah.
Keeping the game in front of him, you know what I mean?
Well, he was drafted as a safety and played his rookie year in Baltimore as a safety before he moved down to nickel and eventually out to the outside. So he's similar to Isaiah Oliver. He's very versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like that idea. That got me all excited. And then the next day they're like, oh, by the way, we made a mistake. He's a cornerback. And I was like, boo. But look, like we talked about, Frankie from Flatbush did a whole thing on it. And we talked about it last week, Dom and I, with Jake. The idea, that he actually plays very, very, much, much better in man, which he would probably likely to be asked to do more than he was last year. They played predominantly zone and, kind of out of position a little bit, if you will. So if our intention is look, he's the perfect guy for what we plan to do, that's also a little bit pacifying right now for me too, O'Leary. You know what I mean? Actually giving him, putting him in a position to play to his strengths. Imagine that.
Yeah. I was going to say, it must be nice. I would love to be a team that puts their players in positions to succeed.
Seems so foreign, everybody.
Yeah.
So where are we? We got pick 1. Oh, we're 110 now. I guess because the comp picks came in.
Picks, yeah. So remember, guys, we don't have a third rounder, but we do have Chris Olave in this make-believe scenario. So
that's right.
Wide receiver is off the board. Right tackle is off the board, and a cornerback is off the board.
All right. So we can put Gunnar Helm up there again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
And those who wanted a defensive tackle, I mean, you got Jamari Caldwell and CJ West, both one techs, both, good against the run, both can get at the passer too and push that pocket vertically, being big fatties. So I like both of these guys very much so.
Well, what do you think? Let's try CJ West. If we put Jamari Caldwell up there, he's going to win it.
Yep.
And, this is right around that time where everybody goes, you know what? It's time for me to vote for Jamari Caldwell. That's what it is. Let's put CJ West up there. Fill in the defensive tackle role.
Uh-huh.
And what do you think about Jonas Sanker at the safety position, Dom, or are there any others?
I mean, listen, Sanker's I love Billy Bowman, but Billy Bowman is a carbon copy to what we already have in Andre Cisco. Like he's your true ball hawk, kind of center field free safety type. So if I had to choose between the two of them, I'd take Billy Bowman over Sanker, but I think Sanker fits better here for what we're doing. The pickings get slim after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put Jonas Sanker up there from the very close to me University of Virginia.
Can I also make a fourth suggestion?
Sure.
I talked about this with Ryan Stream. I think whether or not we do it here, but I think we should really not just brush aside the interior offensive line. You have Simpson and AVT on 1-year deals. Josh Meyer obviously brought in to, fill a backup role, swing role, guard center, so on and so forth. Again, older player, also on a 1-year deal. So, if you're looking to build that pipeline, and whether maybe they have such great seasons that you re-sign both Simpson and AVT, but if not, you still have some pipeline players there ready to step in. So interior offensive line is an area that I would look.
All right, who do we got? Seth MacFarlane?
Listen, I mean, Luke Handra's a great guard. I love Miles Frazier. This rating here is way too low. This is, 4th, 5th round is where he's going to go. Jackson Slater's also good. So there's areas. I mean, you can hold off on it if you think that the value's not here yet. There's still some guys.
Yeah, but again, we don't want to use the sim ratings to know. Look, if we don't take Miles Frazier, for example, we know he's going to be there later.
Yeah,
that's cheating. So if we like him, let's throw him up there. Matt, you got any opposition to throwing Miles Frazier up there, interior offensive lineman?
No, I think it's a smart play and something that Dom C did a good job of laying out why it might be a need a year from now and good teams backfill.
That's right. And that's why if you choose not to, you watch the Baltimores and the Philadelphias and San Francisco's, right? They have good guys that they decide not to bring back. All right, you don't want, we're not going to bring Simpson back. Well, guess what? Now he nets us a comp pick the following year. And you got your back filled with the guy who's ready to step in and play. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yep, indeed. I love it. And look, not for nothing, AVT, if he's proven anything, is that he's injury prone. So even last year, he had a better year, obviously, with not being gone for the season, but he missed 3 games. So look, right now you can bump Myers up to center, move Tippmann over to guard, but then who's behind him? I know we like Xavier Newman. He's still around, but Wes Schweitzer very terribly and sadly got poached by another team. So we no longer get to root for that fella. And that's about it on the interior. So it's important, the Jets, if we know anything about our Jets is that we get injured on the offensive line. Maybe that trend changes, hopefully, but that's been our experience for about a decade. So there you go. The poll is up, everybody. Let's see. We got about 2 minutes left, 2:04 left. And right now, Gunnar Helm's ahead with a healthy lead. which is interesting. I like that. Okay, Gunnar Helm. I'm okay with Gunnar Helm. I will remind you guys, we have an offer from Chubbies. I'm wearing Chubbies. Fantastic. Look at this. It looks just like a regular old-fashioned flannel, but look at this, guys. Look at this. See the stretch? Oh my God. And for guys with breasts like myself, very, very comfortable. Which, by the way, I've gotten a reduction recently. Very, very important. Sam Aiken checking in. Says, which late round offensive tackle can play the interior? Ooh, so taking some of these outside guys, Dom, who would you have your eye on in the 5th or 6th that's like listed as a tackle, but you feel pretty confident can bounce inside and take care of that for you?
I'd say the majority of this tackle class are probably going to either be seen as interior offensive linemen or will start their careers as offensive linemen. Now, if you want to get specific, right? Boy, let's see. Emory Jones is the name from LSU. Okay. Right tackle throughout his career. I think not only can he stay inside, he might be better inside. Anthony Belton, I know he's not here. He's probably off the board already, but he is a prototypical guy. He's that, remember Darnell Wright out of Tennessee a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Reminds me, his play style and his build. Anthony Belton reminds me very much of him. 336 pounds. I think he can handle inside. Brandon Crenshaw Dixon out of Florida. He's a little tall. Some people don't like those super, super tall guards because they lose the leverage battle to those small nose tackle, one tech guys. But I think that he could probably handle himself inside as well. So those are late round guys, later round guys. I don't think Belton's going to be much more past day 2, round 3. But those are some guys that I think can bounce inside.
All right, there you go. Well, Jonas Sanker got trounced with 4% of the vote.
Wow.
We're going to be grabbing Gunnar Helm with a commanding 51% of the vote, guys. Miles Frazier came in second. Just a couple ticks over CJ West. So we're grabbing ourselves a tight end, everybody. Very, very important. And this is the year to do it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what pick are we at?
We are at 145.
What is going on here? 145, everybody.
Round 5. Pick
That's
1.
Right. So we start our 2 picks per round section of the draft, if you will.
Yeah.
So I'd like to look at the wide receivers.
Sure.
I know who he's looking for.
Who am I looking for, Matt?
Nick Nash.
Here he is. All right. I know. It's like I love him. Who else we got though? I'm looking for
Listen, you GreenBean, I remember how much you loved the height, weight, speed combo of one Mr. Mims.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You'll like
the Jets ruined him, you mean? Yeah, I remember that.
You'll like Isaac Tesla a whole heck of a lot. He's that same build. 4'3", 4'39" at however tall he is. What is he? 6'4", 217. A little bit older. But man, he can move. He absolutely can move.
All right. Well, that's an interesting. Is Dante Thornton there?
Dante Thornton is there. He's another guy that can move.
Matt, have you checked out Dante Thornton yet?
I have. I believe if memory serves correct, I think I took him earlier today in my mock draft.
Ah.
Oh, he's an interesting one. If you guys haven't watched him, he's another one to keep your eye on.
And Ty Felton being here.
Yeah, I love Ty Felton, actually.
Phenomenal.
I'm surprised he's there, actually.
Yeah. I mean, again, these are just Trevor Sickman's rankings. That's all this is. So, but again.
All right. I'll let Matt. So we got Isaac Tesla from the Dom C rating. Got Nick Nash, got Thornton, got Ty Felton. Who would you go with for the poll, Matt?
To change it up and be different, can we go Tesla? I feel like Nash and Thornton come up a lot, at least for me. So I'd like to change it up.
I'll tell you, I would love to come away with Thornton like in the 5th or 6th. I would be like, I mean, come on. I would love it. So we'll, how do you spell that? Teslaa. That's an interesting.
So somebody's asking for the defensive tackles.
That might be Rusty Spooner.
Probably. You got
Who do you
Tim
got?
Smith. I think Tim Smith's a pretty good player. Zeke Biggers is getting a lot of love these days. I love Cameron Jackson, but he's a true, like, when you talk about a true, like, early down guy, that's Cam Jackson. He's not going to be on the field much in pass situations, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we don't have a lot of depth at those guys. Like, you know, we've been worrying about so long this offseason, like putting a fit next to Quinnen Williams. But we got to remember, we also don't have a guy behind Quinnen Williams. You know, we lost it in what's his face? Oh my God!
Well, we do have LT3. Like, you know, the guy coming in who's very stout on first and second, grabbing an LT3 for third downs is fantastic. That's a great option, in my opinion. We grabbed the guy from the Chiefs. What's his name again?
Nandi. Yeah. Derek Nandi, yeah, he's a nose tackle. He's an early down run stuffer.
So I don't know. Do we want to grab any of these defensive tackles? I'm not in love with them. Granted, I'll admit I'm not. You know,
you can also go back to the interior line, which we talked about. That's an option. You want to look the safety. You want to look the safety room.
Yeah,
I mean, they have Upton Stout here. I think Upton Stout's probably more of a nickelback than he is a safety. Caleb Ransall gives you versatility at both safety or corner. Billy Bowman I think Billy Bowman, hands down, is the best safety left here on this board. But again, he's a little one note to what we already have in Cisco. They're probably not going to be on the field together unless you're running some sort of big nickel package where you have three safeties out there.
Right. Okay. So you want to? I can add Billy Bowman.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at the edge if you want to look at the edge rushers.
Yeah, let's do that.
Ja Joyner is a great player. Fidel Diggs, he's going to get at the passer. He's a little bit Will McDonald-esque in his build and his skill set. Ja Joyner I like a lot.
All right, we'll throw Ja Joyner. Talk about him for a minute. What's his strength?
Very versatile, man. He's really versatile. 6'5", 265. Roundabout there. You know, he plays with explosion. He's long arms, almost 34 inches. You know, heavy hands, can stack and shed real good. So he can play the run as well. You know, maybe not as technically sound of a pass rusher as you want, but again, we're talking the 5th round here, so you're not going to get a perfect prospect. But a guy that has the skill set that can definitely develop.
All right, who's there for the interior offensive line?
Interior offensive line. Well, I mean, Miles Frazier's still there. That's still the guy. That's still the guy I'd go with.
Run it back then.
Yeah.
It worked for Helm.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the poll is up. I'll start the timer. This is where we start doing 2-minute timers. 5th round. Oh, I'm hot in this hat. All right, I got to change it up. It's time to wear, like when I wear a nice flannel like this from Chubbies, I like to wear my Charlie Daniels hat. That's what I like to do.
CD.
When I'm going out to a fine dining, Matt, you know?
I love
Charlie
it.
Daniels.
Rest in peace. I saw Charlie Daniels in concert, I think 3 or 4 times.
Really? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When I bought this hat, well, I took my son to see him. He was like, I don't know, 7 years old or something like that. And we me and my son at the Pompano Beach Amphitheater saw Charlie Daniels tearing it up. I'm so happy I caught him. I only saw him that one time.
Even I saw him, I think it was maybe 2 years before he passed away. He was like the voice, you know, sometimes they get older, like Willie Nelson doesn't have much of a voice anymore, but Charlie Daniels still has that big booming, or still had that big booming voice. So good show.
Yeah, he was, I felt the same way. I'm like, man, he's killing it. So look, Team Money says Charlie shreds the fiddle. Indeed, he does, everybody. So yeah, I'll wear that, cool off my cranial cavity here. We got 48 seconds left. And only 50 votes, guys. What happened? Everybody's like, I wanted Shedeur Sanders in the 4th.
Checked out.
It happens. It happens. So, it's getting a little bit closer, but I think it's looking like it's going to be tough, especially if people don't vote. It's going to be real tough for the current leader to be supplanted. But man, so we got one more 5th and 2 6th, everybody. Don't forget, we came away with Chris Olave in this draft in the 3rd round. So not a terrible move. Again, there are concerns, but I don't think you can argue the talent. Adding a receiver like Chris Olave to this offense would be something else. Was Fields there when Olave was there? He was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had to be.
So that's amazing.
Same year as Garrett.
That's right. He was the first wide receiver taken in that draft. So when people say, "Oh, yeah, how hard is it to get to hit on picks 4 and 10?" I'm like, well, hello. If you're talking about the Jets, it's very, very hard. And not for nothing, the guys we took were not the first players taken, either one of them. The wide receiver and cornerback. All right, so Miles Frazier comes away with this one, Dom C.
Yes.
So we got our developing pipeline for interior offensive line. Personally, I love this thinking.
Yeah. Oh, and Jackson Hall is a favorite of mine. Goes 2 picks before us. And then Nick Nash.
There he goes. Damn it. 1 pick before to the Eagles. Oh, they're going to use him so well. They're going to bring him right to the Super Bowl. He's going to be like, thank God I didn't make it one more pick in that draft.
Oh, no.
Okay, what do we got here? We're at pick 152, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it depends what areas we want to go here, GreenBean. Ja Joyner, I'll stick with him being an option. He's a really good player. This is great value for him. I think he can be part of the rotation on the defensive line. If you wanted to go linebacker, I know Kobe King seems to be a favorite of everyone's, and I'm not saying he's bad. Danny Stutzman. I don't know why he's down this low.
Yeah. I like Danny Stutzman.
I don't think he deserves to be down this low, if you ask me personally. I'm trying to see what I have a grade. I got a late 3rd, early 4th round grade on him. So I'm a little bit higher than Trevor. But, again, a big hitter, explosive athlete, can move sideline to sideline. At 241 pounds, he can play the Mike, he can play the Sam. So, he's an addition. He would be on the field in base 4-3 or can play. And he's a plus in pass coverage. Tight ends, running backs out of the backfield, man coverage.
Yeah, there you go.
Stuff. So,
and you got like sort of an heir apparent kind of a guy. So we have him and Zaire Barnes kind of developing with the new scheme, the new coaches, and see how that goes. Yeah. I like that idea. We didn't grab a safety yet. So let's take a look at what we got there.
Yeah.
Who do we got here, Matt? Let's see.
Upton Stout, like I said, is probably more of a nickel cornerback. So is Caleb Ransaw.
RJ Mickens is there. That's kind of the name everybody
RJ Mickens is there.
Of these names, who's the more of the strong safety type?
I mean, as you get down the board here, Dan Jackson for sure. That guy's a shit kicker, man. I don't know why everyone sleeps on Dan Jackson. That guy can play.
Let's add him. What do you think, Matt? You like that shit kicker? What do you think?
I sold.
Hunter Woller's another one. RJ Mickens is very versatile. He actually played more snaps in the box last year, and he played like that star backer role for Clemson as well. So he was a little bit of like that hybrid safety linebacker role. But he's
what was the other guy? What was his last name? Jackson?
Yeah, Dan Jackson. Yeah,
Dan Jackson. We're gonna go with him, Dom.
Yeah, the great white hope.
Well, listen, here's the thing. You don't, if you're going to say something like he's a shit kicker, you don't say that unless you want us to buy in 100%.
He absolutely is, dude.
All right. So we got an edge, a linebacker, a safety. We got Olave.
That's fine. You can just leave those 3.
Now let's get a wide receiver up there.
Wide receiver.
Tesla's still there. Let's add Tesla.
Yeah. Jalen Lane's a speedster. Dante Thornton's a speedster. Ty Felton's he's so good.
He's still there. Holy shit. Maybe
Yeah,
we throw Ty Felton up there. What do you think?
Yeah,
I'm
I
cool with that.
I like Ty Felton better. I mean, I have
Yeah.
him rated much higher than Tesla. I just thought you would like Tesla because he is that Mims build, height, weight, speed.
Allergic to salmon, things like that.
Allergic to salmon. Yeah.
Okay. Is Cadoza says, is Mosley still on the team? Nobody. He was released this week to the tune of $16.8 million.
Yeah, I have a feeling his career is done, and
Me too.
story career it was. Like, people can knock him for taking the COVID year off, this, that, and the other thing, but you knew when CJ Mosley was on the field, he was giving you everything that he
Oh,
had,
yeah. He was a badass, and he was always proud to be here. Like he said, every year, man, don't you sleep on the Jets, we'll punch you right in your mouth, like shit like that. Like, I don't know. I loved him. It's a shame that we couldn't put it together for him because the defense that he led for a couple of years was a top 3 defense.
Mhm.
And it just happened to be coupled with quite literally the worst quarterback and offensive line play in the NFL.
And that defense missed him last year.
No doubt.
We talk about all the time how bad the defensive line was stopping the run, but a lot of that was not having Mosley fitting down and really solidifying the stuff inside the tackles. Problem with Mosley is he started to lose a step, probably lost 3, not just a step. He probably lost a few. So he was a real, net negative in anything that wasn't, an inside zone run play that he could run up and stop.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And he was the emotional leader and intellectual leader. He was the brains of the defense.
Yes, sir.
So Siberian Nightmare reminded me that my eyes are fucking falling out of my head, Dom. I think I said 152. Thank you, Siberian Nightmare. I was almost starting to feel good about myself. I appreciate it. I'm just kidding. So Eric says Olave. Actually, Olave went right before Garrett Wilson. I think 2 picks, if I remember correctly. 8? Wasn't he pick 8?
No, he was pick 12. He went 2 picks after.
Oh, then who went first? Who was the first? London.
Yeah.
Then Eric, thank you for correcting me, my friend. I had him flip-around.
Yeah.
It was Drake London. That's who it was. All right, so the poll is over. I'm ending it. Come on. Why won't you open, Mr. Poll? Looks like, what is it? Ty Felton comes away with 50% of the vote. John Joyner with 23%. Danny Stutzman with 16%. And Dan Jackson with 9%. We are just not taking a safety in this draft, Tom, which is, I don't know if it's happened yet.
Yeah, no.
We've taken a safety every time. Interesting.
Let's see who's on the board here, man. You still got RJ Mickens. You still got Dan Jackson.
All right. Let's do what do you think, Matt? You want to do a safety poll? Foursome?
Okay. I like it. I'm down.
All right. Let's do RJ Mickens. Dom, label him for me. Strong.
Mickens is versatile. Mickens is a true. He does a little bit of everything.
What's going on here?
I mean, you got if you want true strong safeties, like in the box guys, you're talking Dan Jackson, you're talking Wohler. I think Trader probably is more of a box guy. I don't know what his snap count was last year. He split it 281 to 280. So he's another guy that's versatile. Dante Trader. Good run defense score based on PFF.
Yeah, my computer's all freaking out here. Oh, it just shut me down. Yeah, I could feel it coming, man. Am I still being seen on YouTube, everybody? Because I am locked up.
Yeah, we hear you and see you coming through.
Yeah. Let me see what happened over here. All right, I got to start that poll over. Yeah, I'm jammed. Like, it's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Super slow.
The kid out of Nevada is getting a lot of buzz. I got to be honest with you. I haven't watched him just because I can't get any Nevada film. But he's gaining a lot of you hear his name buzzing around. But I got nothing to offer him. Malachi Moore, he's a nice player. I don't know. He leaves a lot of meat on the bone, man. A lot of meat on the bone. I'd probably go with Trader, Mickens, and Dan Jackson here, if you're asking me.
Okay.
All right, then you know what? I'm feeling guilty, like we're forcing the chat. They're gonna say we're cheating. Go to the big board, Dom. Let's see what we have floating around. Maybe we're not thinking of it.
Danny Stutzman's still there. Tyler Shuck.
Let's do that. Oh, Tonka Hemingway too. But didn't we grab a defensive tackle? Did we grab one yet?
We didn't. I probably wouldn't take Hemingway. That's just me though. I'm not trying to shy you away from it.
That's a great name though. Would be an
Really
all-time name.
Yeah. It's an all-time name. Jalen Conyers, if you want that true run block and tight end.
Wait, go back up to the top so I can see I want to see spelling. All right, Tyler, Shough. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you can continue. I'm sorry.
No, I forgot what I was saying. Jalen Conyers doesn't get the love in this tight end class because it's very deep. I mean, but he's right up there, guys, with Jackson Hawes in terms of being a blocker. He could probably offer a little bit more in the pass than Jackson Hawes, but Jackson Hawes is a little bit better of a blocker. Just wanted to throw that out to you guys.
John wants, how are we saying this? Shuck,
like a shuck, like shuck and oyster.
Shucking an oyster. Okay. Dixon Hole. That's just fun to say.
Dixon.
Yeah, it's like, remember Bumper Pool?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, if you got your last name Pool, I commend the parents for going, you know what? Let's do it. They smoked a J and went, let's do it. Bumper
Not a
Pool.
lot of people know what Bumper Pool is. Is it like a Jersey thing? Is it like a Northeast thing?
Dom, as far as I'm concerned, it might be a Lake Hiawatha Swim Club thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's how I know it. You know what I mean?
Me too. I played bumper pool for hours of my days at the Lake Hiawatha Swim Club. Dom and I would swim there together. But when you're younger, that 2-year or 3-year gap that we have, whatever it is, maybe even more, Dom. How old are you?
I'm 49.
Oh, 3 years. Okay. So, yeah, but, so we didn't necessarily frolic in the water together. I was more chasing his sister around.
And I was running around with his.
That's the truth. Yeah. I thought I had him, Matt.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah.
I never heard of Bumper Pool.
You never heard of Bumper Pool?
No.
It's got to be called something else. Kind of like soda and pop. I don't know.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let me see.
I Googled it. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at, but I've never played it.
Right. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty, and that's the thing. I don't see it called anything else. Bumper pool. We had the like that octagon table. That's the one we had, right, Dom?
We had the rectangular and the octagon.
We had regular, yeah, I guess we did.
At the country club, yep.
Yeah, I love it.
We called it a country club, guys. It really wasn't a country club.
Oh, it's a country club for white trash. It is. Big pool, metal steel slide, and bumper pool, and bagels for 50 cents at the snack bar.
That's right. That's right.
100 bagels, baby.
Sounds like a good summer.
Oh hell, it was I lived across the street from it, so I would just I would just walk over. All right, so we're ending this poll. Let's see what we got here.
Who is it?
I don't know. I'm waiting. Ooh, the quarterback takes it. Tony, the GM, would be ecstatic right now if he's here.
Yeah. Tyler Shuck.
There he goes. RJ Mickens came in second with 30. Danny Stutzman, 27. And Dan Jackson. Nobody likes this Dan Jackson fella. Even though we said shit kicker, nobody wants it.
It worked for me.
Oh, me too. I was like, oh, that's the guy.
Well, Mickens is still here if you want him.
Let's throw him up there.
Okay.
I know. I added 2 safeties. Well, you know what? Maybe that diluted the safety thing. All right. So what pick is this?
Last one, 207.
207. We're not going to add a kicker this week for Dom. We force it down his throat every week. RJ Mickens, safety.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got here? Matt, you got any guys you're eyeballing like late in the game?
I kind of like Luke Leahy. Iowa tight ends are tough to pass up on.
Yeah, Luke Lackey. Throw him on there.
Yeah,
he's
all about it.
Not my favorite, but it's great value at this point.
That's Rusty Spooner's guy.
Yeah.
And he
you want to throw a big fatty on there? You want
hell yeah.
Defense?
Why not?
Yeah, Cameron Jackson, man. There it is.
Boom.
Cam
Jackson.
Ron Jackson. DL. What's his weight? Open up his weight for me if you
He's
wouldn't
like
mind.
he's like 340, dude.
That's fucking fantastic.
342.
Oh hell yeah.
342. Oh, even better.
Yeah.
That 2 pounds, when you get up that high, that 2 pounds it makes a
Yeah,
huge
but
difference.
this is where he's gonna kill you. Look at his pass rush win rate. It's under 7.
Yeah, he doesn't do that much.
Yeah, but he just stops the run, dude. He's
That's
just
right.
He just consistently 2 gaps and just takes on double teams.
I love it. That's the kind of guy I'm looking for.
He's your guy, man.
Yeah. While we're thinking of the next guy, we're going to definitely add a fourth to this one. Matthew Malave is checking in. Thanks, Matt. He says, interesting question. Vilma and Abraham with this defense or Pennington and Mangold with this offense? I work overnight and my brain thinks like this. That's great. Well, Matt, what would you do? So adding Jonathan Vilma and John Abraham to this defense or Pennington and Nick Mangold to this offense? Which way you going?
Can we confirm that it's healthy, Chad Pennington?
Yes, healthy all the way around. No issues.
I think I'm going with the quarterback and center, and then we could play a little offensive line Tetris, and maybe AVT's right tackle, and Joe Tippmann plays right guard, and you have the offensive line figured out that way. And I know Pennington and Justin Fields very different style of quarterbacks, but I think Pennington could be a good distributor of the football.
Oh, dude, no doubt. Could you imagine? Like, he was the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Could you imagine him with Garrett Wilson?
It'd be a lot of fun.
Garrett Wilson just needs a half step, and Pennington's hitting him.
I got to lean the other way. I mean, Jonathan Vilma was so damn good. And
how about Abraham?
Abraham, I mean, but for this defense, as constituted right now, those guys make a bigger difference, I think, than Pennington and Mangold does.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm with you. I mean, this is a very good question because I don't think you can go wrong. But I think I lean toward Matt adding Mangold, moving Tippmann and Mangold in the middle. That changes the dynamic of the offensive line. He's a true badass. Super intelligent leader of the offensive line. You bounce everybody over to the right a little bit. Chad Pennington behind that line, throwing the G-dubs, and Corley. All of a sudden, Corley, his little nuances aren't so important. Chad said, "Don't worry about it, man. I got you." And adding Olave to that, oh man, I'm into it. I'm into it in a big way. Give me one more guy for this poll.
Take your kicker. Put a kicker on there. I don't give a shit.
Nice.
Let's take another guy instead of Fitzgerald because that's guy he's going to win it.
Yeah, that's fine.
What do we got?
I have no idea. I know nothing about kickers.
Yeah, well, give me the old scroll.
You got Caden Davis. I know he kicked at the Senior Bowl. You have Andreas Borregales.
Yeah, let's go with Andre Borregales.
As I told Ryan, I'll always lean towards a Latin named kicker.
Hell yeah.
You know they're going to have longevity in the league.
That's racist.
Hey, call it like it is.
Just because you favor a race. It's like I am with the Tongans. I want a Polynesian lineman so bad. All right, guys, here we go. The poll is up. I'm going to extend this a little bit. I'm going to make this a 30-minute poll.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 2 minutes. Here it comes, everybody. Yeah, Jake says, you think you know? That was a great question, Matt. Thank you. Jake says, you think you know the difference? So just get one. I just want a kicker, damn it.
Pick out of a hat.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, look, if you are going to draft one and like, look, hypothetically, the first one off the board, like let's say you're in the 6th round and you're looking no kicker, you can take in your eyes the best kicker in the country, even if you just rely on statistics, whatever it might be. Doing that, I think that's an incredible opportunity. Rather than who wants to come here in free agency? You know what I mean?
Well, 2 things, Bean. One, we already have 2 kickers on the roster.
I know.
We already have 2 kickers on the roster. And 2, how did it taking the best kicker in the draft work for Herm Edwards?
Well, dude, that's a very, very unique scenario where I'm not talking about a 2nd-round pick. And he sucked for us. He was very good after us.
He was awful for us.
Yeah. Really was. Like, how does that happen?
Didn't we take another one relatively high? Who was the guy? Not
No.
second round high. Not second round high. We took another big name. We drafted
Oh,
another.
we
big
took
name.
Braden Mann, the punter,
No.
who's got a Super Bowl ring. Remember, he wasn't good enough for us. We wanted him out. We couldn't get him out of here quick enough. The Eagles scooped him right up. He's been there since about 18 minutes after.
He was an All-Pro. Not this year. The year before, I think. He was an All-Pro.
All-Pro, Super Bowl champ. Not good enough for the pissant Jets. We're the best. We really are the best. Aren't we?
Philadelphia always figures out how to take our trash and turn them into treasure, right?
Yeah, because it's a thing called coaching, I think. I'm fucking so glad Boyer is gone.
Hugh Douglas. Remember the Hugh Douglas?
Well, Hugh Douglas was interesting because, and he went to the Eagles too, to your point.
Yeah, and he was great.
He was fantastic. He was great for us, but Parcells.
Yeah.
Remember the whole thing was
He wanted to go to the 3-4 base.
Well, we won the game. Hugh Douglas was upset over some schematic change that his stats were lessened, and he was on the sideline pouting and crying. And Bill Parcells said, enough. He traded him for a second-round pick. He was one of the he was defensive rookie of the year. He was like among the leaders in sacks, and he said, I don't give two shits. Get out of my house. I can't have a guy crying because of his personal stats. All right, let me I know Hugh Douglas, John Abraham, Jonathan Vilma, not good enough. Get out of here.
Yeah. Where did Vilma end up afterwards?
Saints.
Stayed
there the rest of his career.
Yeah, and it was great.
He was awesome.
He was great.
Yeah, they were like, thank you very him and what's his name?
Abraham was good too.
Yeah, Abraham went to the Falcons.
Yep.
But Demario Davis, both of those guys, not good enough for the Jets. They went down to the Saints their whole career, all pros, Super Bowls, all that shit.
We gave up on Douglas twice. We gave up on Demario Douglas.
Demario Davis. Yeah.
Demario Davis. We gave up on him twice, right?
Yeah, well, think about that. So McCagnon cut him. Then he traded the Louisville Slugger, the safety, for him. What the fuck was his name again? That guy.
Oh, my God.
Took him in the first over Brandon Cooks. So stupid. What was his name?
Oh, my God. I love him.
Why can't I think of...
Yeah, me too. I could see his dumb face.
Yeah.
Calvin Pryor.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Not Calvin Pryor. What's it?
Yeah, so we traded Calvin Pryor to get Demario Davis back. He has his best season up to that point, and McCagnon didn't even show an interest in re-signing him. That's the kind of leadership
instead.
What's that?
Do you remember who they signed instead?
Was that the Avery Williamson year?
Nailed it. Avery Williamson.
Now, in his defense, he was really good.
He was
that first year, but then remember we signed Mosley, and our goal was to have the best middle linebacker tandem in the NFL. And then they kept Avery Williamson into the third and fourth quarter, whatever the hell it was, in a preseason game, and we lost them. We never saw them play together. It's like the Smash Brothers, Becton and ABT. We saw them for about 14 minutes.
5 seconds. Yep. So stupid.
Cameron Jackson comes in he edges out the kicker, Dom, by 2%.
I love it.
Jets history is the best.
Matt, are you? I know you're a lot younger than Bean and I. Do you have recollection of Marvin Shaytree Jones playing linebacker for the Jets, or is that before your time?
No, that's definitely before my time. I count like 2003 as the first year I really know what was going on. I was 8 in 2003.
Yeah, was Marvin Jones might have still. I mean, he was just gone. He was here in 2000 for sure. I forget. I'd have to look.
Yeah, his last year was with the Jets in 2003. Like I remember the name, but I can't really tell you. Like I remember him as as a player.
No, he was a fun player though, man.
All right, Dom, give us our recap, and then we'll get some letter grades in here, everybody.
Yes, number 7 overall, Armand Membu. We fixed the right tackle, or at least give competition at right tackle. 42 was the interesting one. I love the player. I'm surprised that the chat decided to go cornerback, but we bring in Trey Amos. Perfect scheme fit. Maybe they decide to do something with Brandon Stevens, which is why the chat didn't take a safety in this draft. Now,
that's what the chat's working on. Okay, chat.
You got it.
Than us.
Yeah. Third round, obviously, we traded for Chris Olave, and then fourth round, we went with the tight end Gunnar Helm out of Texas. Multi-purpose, multifaceted Gunnar Helm. Pick 5, the Dom C special Miles Frazier, interior offensive lineman. Our second, fifth rounder, courtesy of Mike Williams from Pittsburgh. We replaced him with Ty Felton, a true field stretcher, deep threat, fast as fuck, if you will. Round 6, the 26-year-old Tyler Shuck. Some have him as a top 3 quarterback in this class, and he fell to us all the way in round 6, and we finished it up with a good 342-pound fatty, early down run stuffer, Al Woods wannabe in Cameron Jackson.
Interesting. All right, chat, you're up first. Drop your letter grades in the chat, then we'll see what O'Leary and Dom C think on the matter. Zachary Berner comes in first with a C+.
C+.
Let's see. New York Jets fan 4 with a B. Where are we? A B+ from Kent Freeman. Could have had better talent and done better on the trade front. Don't forget, we got Chris Olave in this draft. And we didn't see any other trades, so that is it's tough for us to swallow on this show. Franklin Fung with a C. Bradigan, those Fs are bogus. Solid B. There you go, Bradigan. C- from Bearded V tier. Membo and Helm are the only ones I really like. Frazier is decent enough, but early for my taste as far as needs. I understand. C- from Jake. Rusty Spooner says a B, almost a B+.
Wow, we got to stop right there for a second because Rusty is always very difficult. Rusty, I'm glad that you like this one. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I think. Well, if we would have gotten Luke Lakey at the end there,
yeah,
it would have definitely been a B+, I think. Pete Detraglia says, not a fan of this draft, C. Cadoza, C, C-. Rover Bet with a B+. Infrared doesn't like PFF, said I give it a solid B. Jets Worldwide checking in with a B. Larry Turkin with a B-. Jason Ratcliffe says, if we're being honest, it's a C+ draft. Well, what if somebody gave it a B? They're lying. It's really a C+, but I hear you though, Jason. I'm actually quite with you. JJ Hamza with a D, even though we got the quarterback there in 186. Maybe that's not the quarterback he likes.
Possible.
That's probably it. Cadoza with a C+. Okay. John says, I give this draft grade a Quentin Copels.
Oh.
So that's an F.
It'd be an F, I would think.
No bueno, I think.
Maybe he's shooting for the Copels, the C. Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, Ratcliffe says Olave gives us up to right. Brings it. Don't forget Olave in this mix, everybody.
Correct.
Chad Marlowe with a B-. Scott Foster with a B. Brees Lightning with a C. Extinguished the Guilt with a B. Life Force checking in with a D+. RB with a C-. Bomber just straight up says these picks are trash.
Thank you, Bomber.
Yeah, there you go. JD Kent with a B-. Oh, so Jason says, I'm saying Olave brings us to an A-B.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Jason Zayas with a B. Nick Rousseau with a B-. Stanley Spector says too much duplication of free agent signings. Yeah, well, that you could say that, right, with the cornerback and the defensive tackle, and then we drafted a wide receiver after trading. So, that's logical thoughts right there. I think you're onto something. Matthew Malave says B for sure. Bomber says D-. Matt and Bomber got to talk because Matt was very confident it was a B, and Bomber doesn't think so. So there you go. Different strokes. Meadowland Swamp Thing with an A+. Wow. Tom, look at that.
I love it.
Frank Mercado, also known as Frank the Tank, running naked through the quad as we speak. C. And Cadoza adjusts his grade, including Olave with a B. And that'll wrap it up. So Matt O'Leary, you're up first. What would you give this draft? What letter grade would you give this draft?
I'm going to give it a solid B in this draft. Things that I like about it, and you have to factor in Chris Olave. So they find a wide receiver 2. They land the starting right tackle. They land a good tight end that I like in Gunnar Helm. Amos, I think, is good, but I understand where people come from saying it's repetitive after signing Brandon Stephens. Although I would argue with us passing on safety in this group, they would probably have to play Stephens at safety, and then Amos would play corner. But I think we did some things to fill some pretty big needs here.
I like that. Real quick, JJ Hamza, who just gave us an F or a D- or something, said, if it's any consolation, I did a draft at the same time and it turned out worse.
That's great.
That's fantastic. So, Matt, yours was a B, you said?
B. We're going to go solid B.
Nice. Logical reasoning there. Dom C, where did you land on this one?
Oh, man. You know, I got to tell you, GreenBean, I'm not on board. Again, not a knock on the player, but I'm just not on board with the tackle at 7. So that's going to swing it down for me a little bit. I absolutely love Trey Amos, the prospect, and I think the 2 best picks in this class are in the 5th round, and Miles Frazier and Ty Felton.
Yeah.
PFF and Trevor Sikkema don't think so.
They don't. Isn't that funny? Look at that. Matt, he says, my favorite picks of the draft. And PFF says FF.
Yeah. That's so, you know, I'm going to say, you know, factor in Olave because I think you have to in this one, which I'm not crazy about either. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a B- with Olave. I'll say C without, C plus without, B- with Olave.
Interesting. Okay, so where I land is this. I also agree, while I do like the player, and I wouldn't complain if this is the way they want to go. If the Jets just decide, hey, look, I don't care what Joe Douglas did, that he traded up for AVT and used 2 11th overall picks on tackles. It has nothing to do with us. We need a right tackle. This is what we want to do. We want to make sure the offensive line is there. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't love it. All right, so that's to start. I don't like the repetitive nature of the cornerback, especially with not having a third, even though you get a player for the third. So that's fine. But cornerback there is really, it rubs me. Gunnar Helm I like. Miles Frazier I like there. Ty Felton I love there. If we're going to go quarterback, I'm fine with that. You know, 186, a flyer on him and just sit him and work on developing him. That's fine. Can't say I know much about Cameron Jackson, but at 342 pounds, 0 pass. He doesn't walk in pretending to be anything but a big fat fatty who hates running backs. Yeah. I'm all about it. Yep. I'm all about it, especially at pick 207. And then you got Chris Olave, which the truth is, even though, look, it's my channel and, you know, I pumped it up, not pumped it up, but I made sure to remind everybody, I personally don't like it. The concussions scare me. Jets, we got to remember, if we take a guy who's been injured perpetually for somebody else, you might as well end their career when they sign the ink to the paper in one Jets drive. So I have to give this draft a C- at best. I do think we got some quality players. Again, like Membo, I think is going to be solid. Trey Amos, I think is going to be solid. Gunnar Helm, I think he's going to contribute. Miles Frazier, good development. Again, what we could have done in this draft, I think is significantly better. I could go to a C. Well, let's say that. Let's say C because the potential's there. And we've done far worse as the actual Jets. You know what I mean? Far worse. So there you have it. That's my grade. Matt C with the B. What'd you have, Dom? I'm sorry. You said C-?
No, I said C plus B-.
C plus B-. I'm going to give it a solid C. I'm going to stand right there firm in the middle, right in the middle. I'm going to give it a 75 grade on our physics test here today. So with that all said, Dom, if you wouldn't mind copying that, send me
already
a
sent.
screenshot. Yep, I
Already
knew you
done.
would. And I'll remind everybody about the amazing deal from Chubbies, the brand I am wearing right now. Everybody, 20% off your entire order just by using the promo code GreenJetsFan. It's in the link, or the link is in the description. You can see it right there on the screen. 20% off. Quite frankly, my absolute favorite clothes. I have the Friday shirts, I have the slacks, I have the shorts, I have the swimsuit, and I have my this might be my favorite piece though. Matt, you got the same one, didn't you?
I do have that same exact one.
Am I lying?
No, it's a comfortable wear. And, if you're going out for a nice dinner, you could dress it up a little bit.
Yeah, I love it. I love dressing up and still being comfortable. You know what I mean?
It's the best.
So Chubbies is the brand. GreenJetsFan is the promo code. 20% off is the offer, everybody. Thank you to Chubbies for hanging out with us. Anything, Matt, what do you got coming up? You got anything you want to share?
Well, we got Talking Jets tomorrow night, which I'm excited for. That's always a fun time on Tuesday. And I'll be recording a new Just Jets tomorrow to post on Wednesday.
There you go. I know it's weird. It's like Monday. I get all lost in the sauce. That's right. The Talking Jets panel tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Everybody.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Talking Jets Network, of course. Matt O'Leary, Just Jets, my favorite podcast in all of Jet fandom. Awesome. That's released on Wednesdays, right, Matt?
Wednesday morning. So
there you go. Fantastic. Dom C, what do you got cooking, friend?
Other than Thursday, think of it. Looking forward to that this week with you, GreenBean. I got some good stuff coming down the pike as we get closer to the draft. We'll be talking Jets draft on my channel, specifically with Will Parkinson. I have scheduled the lead editor and draft analyst for the Philadelphia Inquirer, Devin Jackson. Also going to be talking some draft with him. And I was able to lock in date to be determined, but he agreed to come on and do a little film breakdown with me. If you're interested in finding out about new Jet, Rashad Weaver, he will be on my channel.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
When is that happening? That's amazing.
He said he's going to come back to me. I talked about just, getting into some of his film from last year and kind of just getting into the weeds with him like that. So.
Oh, I love it. You got to make sure that you tell all of us in Talking Jetland. We'll pump that one out. That's going to be a great watch.
Yeah.
Great.
That's going to be a good one. All right, guys. And don't forget, I'll be doing the After Hours Jets Fest after the Talking Jets panel tomorrow, Tuesday night. I want to thank Jake Asman for wrapping this up with a nice comment. Just a ponderance. To mock or not to mock? That is the question. I think right here we chose to mock. A nice C mock from GreenBean perspective. With that all said, guys, I thank you for all of you for hanging out. You guys make the show, so it's great to have all of you in here. And we were going to end the show now, and we will see you. Where the fuck is it? I can never find it. There it is. We'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Donnie Lamb Jones. Wide receiver. As a season ticket holder of the Jets, I'm going to fool Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback. Roger Vick. Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all back.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D.
Milner.
Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold. The New York Jets